Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks on Gainy Titan. Well, I've continued to progress up the German anti-tank line from the Panzer SFL to the Nashorn. It's pretty much the same thing again, just at a higher tier. Very similar guns. You start off with a 7.5cm gun. Rapid firing, reasonably decent gun handling. I think part of the problem is, of course, these tanks are being asked to do stuff that historically they would never have been asked to do. You would never have, except in moments of desperation, contemplated fighting with these anti-tank or tank destroyers at the kind of ranges that they're being asked to fight in the game. They're not meant for that, so they're not as stealthy as they need to be. They're quite tall, quite large. They take up a lot of volume. They're just not very well armoured, and you're facing tanks at ranges where you can be fairly easily spotted. Now, you do have good guns and good gun handling, so you will find situations where you really benefit and really thrive with this tank. But a lot of the time you're going to be in trouble, because as soon as you fire the gun you're going to be detected. And they're not terribly mobile, they're not terribly fast responding to the mobility issues. So it's a problem, and if you're caught, then you're in deep trouble, because you have a fixed gun pointing forward, and you don't turn all that quickly. Although they're not the worst, but they just don't have the armor to survive. On the other hand, I suppose they don't have a lot of hit points either. But that's the other side of it: is that 3 or 4 penetrating shots, and you have your fire for effect. Overall, though, I've decided I don't particularly like lightly armoured glass cannon type fixed gun tank destroyers. I've never really had any experience with anything quite like this. Well, I suppose the Archer is in a similar vein, except the Archer is just so weird in so many levels. On the Churchill gun carriage, which I absolutely hated. But the Churchill gun carriage is slow. I mean, the gun is really good, especially the 32 pounder. It's an excellent gun, but the tank is just so slow, and the armour is just so crap, that I absolutely hated it. So I suppose, yeah, that should have warned me that I probably wouldn't particularly like these tanks. If you can stay well back and you can stay hidden, yeah, you can have a good time and you can do quite a lot of damage, because the gun is very effective. So you can see here with the Excelsior, even though he's reasonably well angled, we're penetrating him without too much difficulty. However, the team isn't doing so well. But you need to be a lot better player than I am, I think, to carry a team with one of these tanks. We have our 4 penetrating hits already, and we will get more damage done before the game is out. It's just that, like I said, you know, you need the assistance. You need spotters as well, because the view ranges on these things aren't exactly huge. And the problem is, because you have to move the hull so much to change targets and stuff like that, that a lot of the time you don't actually benefit from the binoculars. So the ability to spot for yourself isn't as useful. It isn't like the Hellcat or the T-25 or the T-67, where you have the turret and the binoculars are on once you sit still. The binoculars are being effective the whole time. With this tank, you're going to find that if you're forced to move the hull, you're going to lose the visibility, and you're going to lose spots of tanks if you're spotting for yourself. And it's going to take a valuable time to reacquire those spots. And in that time, the tanks that you were observing could have moved much closer, and in which case you are more likely to be observed when you fire. Or even if you don't fire, you just or even by moving, you're more likely to be observed, because you're also, of course, losing the benefits from the camouflage netting when you're forced to move the tank's hull. So, backed up there into a wall. I wasn't going to go anywhere, but I still managed to get a couple of shots into that M6. And he still hasn't finished me off. In fact, I get finished off by KV-85. So you will, yeah, you'll do your fire for effect easily enough. Not much else happens in that match. The remaining tank after me was the Cromwell you saw there earlier on, and he didn't actually do anything. So personally for me, these are tanks to be endured until I get as far as the Borsig and the turret or tank destroyers. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all again soon.